Hello and welcome back to another episode of the TellyClub podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Rhys. And today, winter has come for the podcast as we talk all things Game of Thrones. From its early highs to its very, very low later parts, what were some of your favourite and least favourite parts of the series?
I don't know.
There's lots of favourite bits. I think there's highlights in most seasons. I think Watchers on the Wall is my favourite episode of any TV show ever.
Oh my god.
That's a very high point to start off with. It's so well made. It does its things that Game of Thrones never ever does, in that it embraces the fantasy side of it in terms of...
Was this like I don't know the episodes by names, was this the culmination of like the wildling stuff when they attacked Castle Black?
When they attack the wall, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my favourite episode.
I'm on your page.
Yeah. But what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Yeah. I'm not as fresh with it as you are because I watched it a while ago, but it's good episode.
Mhm.
I liked it.
I think was it in the season 2?
I'm sure it was.
It feels like it was later than that.
4.
3?
3?
Yeah.
I thought season 3 ended with the Red Wedding.
It wasn't at the end though.
Was
Or
it
it
not?
might have been season 4.
I
feel like
season 3 or 4.
That seems like it would be later than season 2. I feel like it was later than season 2
Yeah.
because it felt like it was building up a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever it was a good episode.
It was really cool. I think the main point I want to make about it is the choreography, and the pacing of it is on fire. In this show, obviously, it gets terrible pacing later on, and terrible everything later on, terrible choreography especially later on. And this episode is the complete opposite of that. It focuses entirely on one character, which the episodes don't tend to do, and that's really good. It finishes up the plotline quite neatly, and it's just the choreography. You see all the characters fighting in their own unique ways. Tormund with his he's nuts. He is fighting
What?
like a madman. Tormund, sorry, is it Tormund or Tormund?
Thormund.
I don't know, man.
Thormund fighting with his nuts.
He's not fighting with his nuts.
Have we watched the same show? Or have you watched like a porn parody of
He's
it or
gonna
something?
punch himself in the dick.
What are you talking about?
What about Game of Thrones? Anyway,
Right.
We're on about Game of Thrones. I don't know what you're on about.
well, okay.
I mean, that tracking shot of Jon Snow, like that one shot of him going throughout and then everyone fighting around him, was
Mhm.
just amazing.
Yeah.
I love it when they do that.
Yeah, the long shots to do are some of the best shots to do. It blends the fantasy so well without it being so unrealistic. Like everyone seems like a D&D character where they've got their own unique style and abilities and that, and they use that so well in the choreography. And then that's followed up by one of my least favourite scenes in the whole show, which is when the Hound fights for Brienne in the episode after, where they must have used up all their choreography juice for that episode before, and
Is that when he just falls off the cliff and then he's just gone for seasons or something?
Yeah.
before they remember to bring him
Yeah.
back later on. We'll get onto that in a bit. The problems
Well, they
with
didn't
that.
even need to bring him back.
Nah, I think it's nice that they could have brought him back for that one episode
Yeah,
with the guy from John Wick.
he just doesn't really serve any purpose when they bring him back.
No.
He's just another muscle guy for them to bring along
Mm-hmm.
beyond the wall. And then obviously if they sort of wanted to bring him back for to wrap up the stuff with the mountain, but I just felt like that was stupid as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mountain stuff wasn't paid off or set up as well as it should have been.
Mm.
Because he was absent for seasons upon season, and then he comes back and doesn't mention his brother once, really.
Yeah.
And
I
then
know.
he's like, "Oh, I'm all about revenge, me. I'm all about getting revenge," even though he's not been for a long time now. And he seems to have this whole arc of, it's not even an arc of redemption. You can't call it an arc. He just kind of flips a page and he's different.
The Hound was just there to serve Arya as a character rather than do much else, and then they sort of tried to give him his own stuff because he was such a popular character, and I don't think it really worked because
Mm-hmm.
he sort of furthered Arya by, helping her after all the stuff she'd seen in King's Landing and all the stuff with, when she's she was like a page boy or something that, or cupbearer, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he really needed to come. I like him, but I didn't think he really served much of a purpose when he came back.
It was just fan service, really.
Well, you could say the same about Gendry.
Yeah.
I thought Gendry was a bit pointless. They brought him back. It was nice to see him again because he's just sort of disappeared from the show, but he didn't really do anything apart from sleep with Arya.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I hated
that.
that scene.
Because Gendry was gone since season 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
It was just, literally what literally was just fun. It was
Mhm.
the son of the Baratheons and the daughter of Stark. Oh my god, scandalous. It's stupid.
No one
It was
cared.
pointless.
Yeah.
It was brought up once by, who brought up the Hound, even though he wasn't there. and he just somehow knows, and then it just leads nowhere. Like everything in that show towards the end.
Yeah.
More about the good. Well, there's lots of things about the good. I think all the early season finales are really good. There's not a single thing wrong with them. Battle of Blackwater's great.
Oh,
Not as good as the as Watchers on the Wall, but it's still really cool. Like the final battle. Obviously the Red Wedding, that goes without saying. I was like screaming and crying and in bits the whole time. Yeah, I love it.
The thing is, that was when there wasn't much plot armour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then later on, too much plot
Yeah,
armour.
100%. Like the early seasons, you felt like anyone could die at any minute, and that was like the whole appeal of the show. But then by the end of it, you're like, okay, well, that person's not going to die. That person's not going to die unless it's a big climactic moment at the end of an episode, at the end of a season.
Yeah, it had you paranoid early on, didn't it?
You couldn't pick favourites, but by the end you could pick favourites because no one was going to die.
No one's going to die except the ones who have to die.
Yeah,
and that's what it felt like. That's most evident, I think, in season 8, the Long Night, when they fight the White Walkers.
Yeah, I was going to say we probably should have prefaced spoilers ahead.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I know, I've got some nerve to say this, but you haven't watched it by now.
You just finished it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So.
See, everyone who watched it before me was ahead of the curve, and everyone who watched it after me is too slow. That's how my mind
by
works.
2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
damn.
So, that episode is probably the biggest example of how the writing goes wrong, I think. It messes up all the plot lines of everyone, I'd say.
The thing is, the visuals are amazing.
Is this the one where the Night King attacks Winterfell?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't even say the visuals were that great because like this was the whole debate when it was
really
coming out. It's really dark.
Yeah,
You can't see anything that's going on.
Yeah.
And like you say, I feel like it just messes up all of them because like there's it's just pointless. It's just pointless. The guy with the fire sword, he didn't even need to be in the show by that point, and they sort of treat him as like a big death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm sure he gets killed off much earlier in the book series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing about them, about the Brotherhood Without Banners, right?
Mm-hmm.
In season 7 and all the seasons like before that, there's 3 dudes who are the main characters.
Yeah.
And then in season 8, one of them just disappears off screen. He's not mentioned.
I can't even remember.
He wasn't a very interesting character, that's why. That's probably why I didn't include him. But like still, he just disappears off screen. I was thinking, hang on, wasn't there 3 of them before? Like literally as far as season 7, he was there, and then he just gets wiped from existence. He falls into the fucking back rooms.
But then they kill off Jorah as well. Just like point. So I feel like he doesn't really serve much of a purpose in that final battle.
Because Daenerys, like, she lands a dragon. I don't know why she does that. Because all the undead climb on the dragon, and then the dragon doesn't fly off. It's just like, get off me, get off me.
Yeah.
And then she falls off the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up by herself and the dragon flies off.
I think the problem with that is like the amount of contrivance to make it. It was so tightly written in the first few seasons, and then they just make it so that everything kind of falls into place for things to happen, whereas everything, it felt natural. Like it was, like take season 3 for example, it wasn't contrived. Like everyone had a reason to be where they were by the end of the season. Yeah. Because season 3 is like the best one. Obviously that's like seen as the peak of the show.
I love season 1.
I love season 1 as well.
I think season 1 is the best. I think there's other best episodes, but I think as a package, season 1 is the best season because it's just so unexpected and like tightly knit.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the perfect way to introduce a fantasy series because if you overloaded the audience with the amount of stuff we have by the end, it would be so confusing. But you keep it very small, very compact. There's 3 houses. There's the whole struggle over the king. There's one major plot point about is Joffrey a bastard, etc., etc., etc. And the stuff about Bran, like, and it also like a thread that goes through. Yeah. But then after, I think it's about season 5-ish, they lose those threads entirely.
There's too much going on. You've got like multiple different warring factions, like different Baratheons fighting each other. It's just they sort of lose the focus that the earlier seasons had, and that's what sort of made them special. Yeah, exactly. I like the expansion of the world. I like having House Tyrell and the other houses and Dawn. It's very interesting, but it's not really got much relevance
to the plot. Like,
Yeah, I feel like they don't know when to let go of characters because, like,
yeah,
after the whole Septon explosion thing, I feel like that could have been the end of the Tyrells, like, full stop. They didn't really need to still be kicking towards, like, the end of the last season. It's just a bit pointless.
Yeah. And speaking of characters who hung around way too long, Pedro Pascal's wife.
Oh yeah,
I hate her.
she was. Yeah.
She is one of my least favorite characters in that whole show.
Yeah,
her and her little stupid daughters.
They didn't serve much of a purpose, really.
No,
they really didn't.
No purpose.
They were. I think. Yeah, like you said, they didn't do anything except make Cersei more annoyed by bumping off her daughter.
Yeah.
And that was Jaime's thing for the whole season.
Yeah.
His whole thing was going to Dawn and getting his daughter back.
He just went off with Bronn and it was
yeah, and then it was just pointless in the end.
Like, what are these parents? By the end of the show, you got the most random assortment of characters, especially in season 7, with Daenerys and Jon meeting up.
Yeah,
it's so random.
It's just like a hodgepodge of the sort of fan favourites by the end of it. Like, and I feel like none of them are really served well by the end of it compared to where they started out.
Yeah.
Like, I think Sansa's the only one who comes to mind who's really served quite well because she sort of becomes her own woman compared to the original sort of run. But, like, Jon Snow just regresses completely to where he was in the first season.
His brain regresses.
Yeah.
He's so soulless by the end.
He is, yeah.
He didn't read the fucking script.
He's just a puppet for Daenerys by the end because she's still acting fine. And he's just like going along with everything she says. And there's some shots that are like a Fortnite lobby with all the random characters. It's like, who the hell are these?
I can get what they were going for with the Jon and Daenerys thing. 'Cause it's sort of a bit of a mirror to Ned and Robert, where he was just sort of going along with him because he's loyal. But it was a bit daft.
They never hammer home enough of those points though, because they're too interested in having the fanfic sex scenes. like every sex scene in the later seasons, because it like disappears for a bit and then it comes back in the most like egregious way.
Jaime and Brienne.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that shit. I really hate that shit. They were friends, nothing more.
There was no reason for that either.
No.
Because then he fucks off back to Cersei.
Yeah.
Literally, he regresses. Oh, I was watching an interview, right? With D&D, you know, David and Dan, the showrunners, about why like they're writing it and like their methodology going forward, like once they run out of book, is that they want to surprise the audience, they want to subvert expectations. That's been the buzzword in so many years of like online writing discussion, subverting expectations, stuff about the Force Awakens, subverting expectations, Last Jedi, the subverting expectations. That's where all that came from. Them two, they started something they couldn't control, and it's so bad for the show.
Well, they purposefully rushed it out because they wanted to work on Star Wars, and then because nobody liked the last season of it, they got the Star Wars project pulled away.
Because they proved that they couldn't like stand alone as writers. Yeah. Because they
ran out of material to adapt and did their own thing. Nobody liked it, so then they lost what they were rushing to get to anyway.
Exactly. And this whole subverting expectations thing, it just is bad for any show or any film, for that matter, because it takes like, I watched a video and it said that like they took the wrong lesson from the Red Wedding, where the point of the Red Wedding was that it completely changed the shape of the world. Really, it had like massive consequences for every single character.
But they just sort of like,
oh my god, you didn't see that coming, did you? Like, and that is evident in every season since, where you see like characters just like die for no reason randomly, or like things happen for no reason. Like the Septon explosion is one of the biggest like points of that, because it's in like similarity. It's like the Red Wedding, where a bunch of characters like die, and it's supposed to change the whole shape of the world, but nothing really comes of it.
No, Cersei doesn't really get punished for it. There's no blowback. It's just swept under the rug and then it's just a complete focus on Daenerys versus Cersei. Yeah. It's pointless.
Like, the Red Wedding changed the whole face of the earth, basically. Like, I'm trying not to say too much, but everything changed for every character that had to do different things. It sends Arya in a whole direction of going to like be a psycho killer, and it sends Sansa to like perpetual victimhood of being manipulated by everyone. And what the Septon explosion does, nothing.
Yeah, it just writes Tommen out of the show and writes all the sort of major Tyrell, and like gets rid of all the what was he called? High Sparrow.
Yeah.
Gets rid of him.
Because they wrote themselves into a corner with that. They made him too powerful.
Yeah.
And I know that was partly narratively Cersei's fault for doing that. They were too powerful by her command in universe.
Yeah.
But narratively, they had no conclusion for it.
But it's like essentially like the King of England blowing up the Vatican or something.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
there's just no blowback.
She nukes her own fucking city.
Yeah.
And
nothing
the people are
happens.
pissed for one episode and then they go back to loving her.
Yeah, I like that part, but yeah, there's no consequences.
It didn't have the same vibe as the Red Wedding. It's not as much dread. It wasn't as much build up because the way they built the High Sparrow, because he was around for like 2 seasons. He should have been, well, by the way they built him up, he should have been the main antagonist for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Because of how important they made him and how untouchable they made him.
Mm-hmm.
And they just hit the reset button on the whole thing. It's so annoying because that was a good plot line. I thought that because it showed how Cersei is too ambitious for
It
her
went
own
on
good.
too long.
Yeah, it did go on too long. I like that it showed that she wasn't untouchable. But
Yeah.
And when Arya went to, was it Bravos?
Bravos, yeah.
That went on way
mate.
too long as well.
She did. What did she do for those 2 seasons? What did she learn? What was her character arc?
Just trained to be a faceless man, but then she doesn't even use it in the last season.
She does it once.
Yeah, she does it once to get back at Walder Frey, and that's it.
Like those 2 seasons, she's learning to erase her identity, her
It
personality.
makes her soulless as well, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't though. It makes everyone.
Sort of does.
Well, the writing makes everyone soulless by the end. That wasn't her. That wasn't the training.
She becomes a bit of a non-character by the end.
Yeah,
But then they make her way more important than she has to be.
she just
They put
becomes
way
like
too much
badass
focus.
assassin lady, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then she's away for 2 seasons, then she goes and meets Ed Sheeran, and that's
Oh, that
about
was so
it.
funny.
Yeah.
I think there's a throwaway line about what happens to Ed Sheeran as well.
What does he get killed in?
I think there's a throwaway line like the Lannisters are talking about like something about the battle, like where the Dothraki and that attack the convoy.
Yeah.
I think there's a line about this. Oh, that poor redhead lad Ed. He got half his face burnt off.
I like that episode as well, but
That was cool.
Jaime decides to charge at Daenerys.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of in character for him because he knows he's losing at this point. He's only loyal to Cersei because he loves her and because he wants to be with her, and that's a chance to end the war. This is another point.
I hate that though, because Jaime is my favorite character in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And his arc is I would say the best character arc in the whole show. Watching him go from smug arsehole in the first season to learning a bit of humility with Brienne to being a genuinely upstanding guy for the most part. Even up until the last season, he's still really good. He goes against Cersei, goes up to Winterfell to fight the White Walkers, do the right thing, be by Brienne's side, and then they just undo that in one episode. He goes and rides back down to King's Landing. You've got the bit where Tyrion sneaks into his camp and then he's like, oh, I never really cared for the people of King's Landing anyway. Yes, you did. That was the whole point. That you said.
That was the whole speech with Brienne about him being the...
They ruined his entire character with one line of dialogue, and I will never let that go.
Because the core part of his character is that he killed the Mad King.
The whole thing about him being called Kingslayer, he has that amazing speech with Brienne about how he wanted to save the people, which he didn't think he would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, right, there's more to this character, he's complex, and then it completely goes back on itself.
And then he's just a different person by the end of it.
Yeah.
It's not even that he's been walked back, he's just a different guy.
But it's sad when you think about the way that the characters ended off, and then you go back, like Tyrion. Tyrion was just a moron by the end of the show.
He's just lobotomized.
Yeah, he's just making so many stupid decisions, and you go back to a few seasons before, what the 3 episodes or whatever when he's on trial are my favorite episodes of the show. It's the only time that I binged 3 episodes back to back because I needed to know what was going on next, and it was shocking. It was really good, and his performance and his character were great. And then you skip forward a little bit in time, and he's just, like you say, he's been lobotomized. He's just making daft decision after daft decision. He lets his friend basically be killed with Varys and all that. And
that's a different kettle
The
of
thing
fish.
is, he's so adamant that Cersei will change her mind.
Yeah, and then
Time again, she fucking hates him.
When has she ever changed her mind?
But the thing is, she does end up changing her mind, doesn't she? Because the ring the bells in
At the very last
at the very last minute. But then it doesn't matter anyway because they're just.
Yeah, Cersei doesn't order the surrender though. She was fine to keep fighting. She wanted to keep fighting to the last person. But throughout the whole show, Tyrion is just essentially treats Cersei as an obstacle because he knows he can't reason with her and he knows she's too headstrong to be talked to. She is the main one who wants to persecute him in the trial. And the fact that he's just dumb. It doesn't help that like Euron's got a teleporting fleet. Like that's one of the
they start teleporting.
They do.
Honestly, it takes like 5 minutes for them to get from the north to the south.
Yeah, you've said this. This is the biggest problem with the later seasons of the show, that people get places too fast.
I think it's because you don't have so many storylines to keep cutting between.
Yeah,
just focusing on one thing.
Yeah,
there's less believability when they're just halfway across the country.
Yeah, because all of season 3 was Arya trying to get to Rob.
Yeah,
and having that whole journey that took 10 episodes to get there.
Yeah,
but they go from north to south, like back and forth in one episode now. Because, like you say, they streamline the plots because everyone ends up on one side or the other.
Just think about the whole Beyond the Wall bit in the last season where they get beyond the wall, and then I'm sure they send Gendry back to the wall to give a message, and he somehow manages to cover all that ground, send the message, then for Daenerys to come in with a dragon while they're still going about all of their stuff. It's like it's as if he's like ran from, like, I don't know, 50 foot back to the wall. It's not. It's like days worth of travel.
Exactly.
They would have been dead.
And he doesn't stop.
Yeah, he doesn't stop.
That idea is so stupid.
I know, it's the stupidest plan ever.
We're going to go and get one of the undead and bring him back.
So
we're going to go into the army, get one and come back.
Yeah.
But then that didn't matter either.
Yeah.
No, because Cersei didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. The only thing it did was bring Jaime up, but then it doesn't matter with Jaime either. Because then he walks back. Yeah, he walks back to King's Landing.
But this is the range of motion thing is most evident in that bit, because their plan is to go from Winterfell to the wall, then go past the wall to the White Walkers, and then get back to the wall, get through the wall, get south all the way to the other end of the country before the White Walkers get through the wall, and then send everyone back up north to Winterfell before the White Walkers get there.
Yeah. I know, it's daft.
They're moving at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
But everyone else can move like the Flash.
We're really not doing a good job selling this show.
We'll talk about more good things. Then we'll talk about the ending, because that's...
Okay, none of the good things get fulfilled, though. Or do they?
I know, yeah, that's true.
What are the good things that are, like, still good?
I still like the Battle of the Bastards, even though there's so much plot armour.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just really cool.
Yeah.
It is really cool. And like you say, there is loads of plot armour, but it is a good 2 episodes.
Plot armour, but it's a show, like, you can, excuse it.
You can't just, like, kill off Jon Snow.
Yeah. You've already done that.
Yeah. That is the highlight of that season, definitely, because it's so cool, and you get to see the battles, and you get to see one of the most hated characters have their showdown.
Ramsay's such a good character.
Ramsay's
not like good person, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's such a good villain.
He was the last good villain in the show.
Yeah.
Him and Joffrey.
Yeah. Oh, Joffrey was a great villain. He didn't really do much as far as, like, actions go, but he was just horrible to look at and horrible to be around.
But once Ramsay's gone, it's like sort of just takes a nosedive.
I know, because like Cersei's not likable, but you don't really hate her. I don't think
she was sympathetic in places, but then she just becomes evil and cold.
Well, yeah, I think that was the issue. They sort of made her sympathetic by the Walk of Shame, and then by her losing literally every single child and all the rest of her family, apart from basically Jaime, because Tyrion was dead to her anyway.
Yeah, that was sad. But like in the earlier season, she had some like depth of character. She wasn't just like, I want to kill everyone.
Yeah,
like when they're trapped in the tower in the Battle of Blackwater, just talking to Sansa about how it's how she as a woman is stuck in the place that Cersei's going to be stuck in. She's got to learn. So she's essentially giving her advice in the most like horrible Cersei way ever.
Oh, that part was really good.
It was so good. And about how this is unfortunately the place of her as a woman, as a queen in this society, how she's just got to wait for the men to do all their things, and there's only so much she can do, and it's all to ease her own pain from the actions of others.
Yeah, see, I like that.
And that was good.
It's paid off by her getting the power that she didn't think she ever would when she becomes the queen, but then, the sort of just,
we never see her do anything with it.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything.
I mean, in the Battle of the Blackwater, at the end, she's sat on the Iron Throne with Tommen.
That's
with the poison. It's like, she just wants to protect the family. She doesn't want anyone, like, she wants it on her own terms. And then Tywin comes in and says they've won. It's so good.
Yeah, I love Tywin. Tywin's one of my, oh my God, Charles Dance. What an actor. What a character. Yeah. He's one of my faves. His story ends like, well.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing you can look back on fondly.
Yeah, I like how this big, grandiose, pompous arsehole dies on the toilet. That's good.
He was such a good character. He was the best villain.
Yeah.
Him and Ramsay probably were the best villains. Even then, Ramsay's only bad because of his shock factor. And I feel like he later becomes just a psycho for the sake of being a psycho.
A flanderized
Yeah.
version.
Yeah,
of what
he's
he
like the
originally was.
Joker.
Yeah.
But I think Joffrey's a better character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joffrey was sadistic because he was an evil little shit, and you can see how he became an evil little shit. The Ramsay's just sadistic because he's a Bolton, and the Boltons are sadistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's his father's son, yeah, and you see from early on how just horrible the Boltons are. But once he, like, it feels like he's doing these things to like appeal to his father or just like get his anger. I don't know what it is. Why is he doing these things? And then he finally gets what he wants. He becomes Mr. Bolton, and you don't really see how that affects him or like how the power affects him. He's just the same Ramsay, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was allowed to do what he wanted before, but then he doesn't really do anything much more with that. He's just evil guy who is linked to Cersei vaguely, who they've got to get past to get to Cersei.
Yeah.
But he was such a good character early on.
I think we need to talk about Theon as well, because I quite like his story arc. I think his end is quite good.
Yeah, I think
it did.
I would say so. I think Theon's the only one that season 8 episode like sort of fared well for, because like his whole evil turn came from him seizing Winterfell and basically thinking that he'd killed Bran and whatever Rickon.
Rickon, who no one.
They don't even do a funeral for him.
Yeah.
John just aura forms for a second and then just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Their brother is dead.
Yeah, they just don't care.
They don't mention him once.
But yeah, his whole evil turn and like sort of downward spiral starts from that. So I like that it ends with him defending Bran from the Night King.
Exactly. But it was kind of pointless. The Night King wasn't moving. If he'd stood there, the Night King wouldn't have moved.
He was surrounded.
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
He was just trying to redeem himself.
He was trying to redeem himself, yeah, but he could have redeemed himself in any other like way. He could have. I'm not a writer. I don't know these things, but he could have.
But I think the good thing is, obviously, it was horrible what he did when he took Winterfell, killed those 2 kids, right?
Yeah,
and then Ramsay did awful things to him, and then you're thinking, right, that's enough for him, no more, right? And then he's redeemed himself. He becomes.
They just
a good
bully him
person.
for like 5 seasons straight. It's really funny because I suppose him and Ramsay are mirrors of one another. They both want to be like their dads. They both want to earn the favour of their dad by doing horrible things.
Because you think Theon's bad for what he did, and then Ramsay makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Ramsay's just even worse.
But in that episode, he dies for nothing really. Bran's not moving. I thought Bran was going to pull some like explosion.
What do you want Bran to do? Do some wheelies?
No,
He's
but
really
like
wheelchair.
They think he's like Professor X or something. He's going to start lifting
He
the Night
basically
King
is,
up.
though.
I know, but he's not. But that would be jumping the shark if he just had telekinetic powers and started lifting the Night King up. The people would have just laughed at that even more.
No.
Or if he'd summoned like a horde of ravens or something to scratch him to bits, that would have been daft as well.
Problem with the Bran thing is that by the time Theon gets back to Bran doesn't care about anything anymore. He's not a character, and he's the 3-eyed raven. All he does is look through ravens.
Who
That's
does
all.
well?
Exactly, right? The 3-eyed raven has the power to lobotomize a fella through time to serve one specific purpose or one thing, and he doesn't do anything since because he's too
The
powerful.
power scaling's weird.
And I thought at the end of that episode, the Night King was going to like touch Bran or something, right? And then Bran would like melt him, like because they're like polar opposites basically, aren't they? But no, guess who does it?
Arya.
Arya Stark, the teleporting ninja, who somehow survives the like thousands of undead charging at her, and she has a little stealth segment as well.
How does she get there?
Exactly. How does she? Right.
But then she goes all the way to King's Landing after that as well, just to have a heart with the Hound before he tops himself.
Like after they'd seen that, why didn't they just send Arya to kill Cersei?
Well, this is what I mean. Like, you don't. You care about Arya, but you don't care about it as much because she's basically gone for a few seasons. She's not gone much, she's away.
Well, it's the same with Bran. Isn't he just not in an entire season?
Yeah, he's
of
not
the
in
show?
season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in season 5 at all.
Yeah.
And then he becomes just a shell of a person.
He's boring.
Yeah.
He's not even a good exposition machine either. He doesn't tell you anything about anyone. He just stares at people.
Yeah.
He just makes people uncomfortable. That's his whole point. Like, Arya's arc when she's in Bravos was about erasing her identity to serve a purpose, serve a single-minded purpose. And at the end of that arc, she takes back her purpose. She picks up her sword again. She still wants to be Arya Stark. And where does that lead? She doesn't do anything Arya Starkish. She still has a single-minded purpose to kill everyone she wants to kill. And also, again, bullshit how she manages to get to that point in the first place. The entire army of the dead are basically surrounding them. apart from the ones who are fighting the D&D characters who are still alive, right? And all the White Walkers there, who are shown to have like supernatural senses and like supernatural abilities. And the Night King is also there, who's the best of them. And she manages to sneak past hundreds of zombies. Like about
in a circle.
in a circle. Yeah, in an enclosed circle, tightly packed circle. About 10 White Walkers who are all there. And they sense her as well. They know she's there. And then manages to jump at the dude and
it should have been John.
It should have been John. This is a subverting expectations thing, right? Because you see, when the dragon crashes in that episode, right, and John's basically alone with the Night King, he starts sprinting towards him. Right, this is it. This is the one-on-one. But they literally said this in that interview I watched. That didn't feel right to us. That wasn't subversive enough. So he starts doing the summoning thing, and we'll have a unexpected ending.
This is John's whole thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
To kill the Night King.
He was brought back. Well,
back for a purpose.
He was brought back for a purpose. The purpose is different by the end of the season.
That becomes pointless as well.
Yeah. They make him the prince he was promised or whatever. You know, the secret heir to the throne, and then it's just whatever. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who cares? Oh, I'm not bothered about that. I'm loyal to Daenerys until I stab her. That's fine.
Yeah. That was the purpose he was brought back.
Yeah.
That's what they implied by the end. I think he was brought back to stab Daenerys.
Oh, Daenerys as well.
Oh.
She's done so dirty.
Can I talk about the Lord of Light first? Lord of Light shoot. Because the Lord of Light thing...
Whoever's listening to this is going to think you hate this show. Because
I'm fresh off finishing it. I'm just remembering how good it was.
For like 40 minutes.
How good it used to be. So the Lord of Light stuff, they only see like one actual magic thing happen in the early seasons, and the rest of it's just like, oh, is there actually a god? Is this magic? Is it like some weird science? Like... The whole point was that it's kind of grimdark in the fact that the gods don't care if there are gods at all, and that the people only hold on to the idea that there are gods to give themselves some greater hope and motivation to keep living. But no, by the end of it, she's actually got magic, and she lights things on fire, and she lights the Dothraki swords on fire, and she has a bunch of magic spells. Basically, that she turns into like a witch in like the traditional sense, where she's like slinging spells and that, right? Why? The magic stuff's the worst part of the show.
She doesn't really get any repercussions for killing Shireen as well.
No. Just burnt a child at stake and then nothing happens.
And then Davos has a go at her.
Yeah, that's it. And she comes back and Davos doesn't immediately kill her.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to, but like she just goes and kills herself.
Plot.
Yeah, because it has to happen a certain way, not because there's a reason for it to happen, just because it has to happen.
Right, do you want to say anything positive about this show?
Positive about the show.
The first 6 seasons are great.
Oh, first 5, 4.
He's still hating. I've given you the opportunity to be positive about this show.
Positive about it. It has the greatest. It's like an example of some of the greatest writing of all time, right? In a show, it changed the face of how we see TV shows, like Sopranos did to quality TV. This made quality TV fantasy that we're still seeing the repercussions of today. We see loads of fantasy stuff now. It essentially made fantasy more mainstream than it already was, and the effects of that are still seen today in how D&D is around how every single like fantasy brand that was like kind of under the water of popularity is now popular and mainstream now. It changed the world in terms of how we view fantasy, and then it fumbled so hard.
It couldn't even get through the sentence.
Yeah. It scared Martin into not writing the book as well. That's really funny.
I'm saying it's probably already written. He probably just doesn't want to release it. It'll be released posthumously.
Yeah. He's got 2 to write though.
Well, he probably has wrote them. He probably just doesn't want to release them because people will hate the ending anyway after all that time of waiting.
Mm-hmm. I know nothing.
So then he'll just die and then nobody can complain to him.
Nothing he does will be able to like live up to expectations. That's the problem.
Right, moving on. What do you think of the 2 spin-offs that have been released?
I think they're okay. House of the Dragon is what got me into Game of Thrones because like I hadn't watched it. I'd put off watching it because I heard the last season was terrible. My dad wanted to watch House of the Dragon. I was like, okay, I'll watch it with you because Matt Smith's in it. And I got about 3 episodes in and I thought, I may as well watch the show because this is all right, you know, because this was before the time skip and I was quite liking what I was seeing. But then I think as it's gone on, it just feels pointless.
Yeah.
It feels... I think my issue with it is it feels too samey to Game of Thrones where like it's just another show about rival factions vying for the throne.
It's samey, but it's about one, like, way less houses. Mostly Targaryen. I think it's better when there's more houses.
It doesn't help that they've all got basically the exact same name, so you forget who people are. So it's like every single name ends with like or R or
It's like Aegon,
Rhaegar, Aegon, Rhaenyra, Baelor. It's like who are you? They've all got white hair as well.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And then Jon Snow's called John.
Yeah, John.
But yeah, it's just it's all right, but like it's spinning its wheels to try and be this epic show, and I don't think it is. Because like I liked the first bit of the season 1 before the jumps, because I liked Millie Alcock in it as
she's really good.
as Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
I'm not as sold on Emma D'Arcy, but they're okay in the role. But like it's just not as interesting. They keep jumping forward in time loads, and it's really throwing us off. Like I swear, the entire last season, Matt Smith was just in a ruined castle for the losing his marbles the entire season.
That sounds fun.
But he was just seeing visions the entire season.
Harrenhal or something like that?
He was in Harrenhal and he was just seeing visions of like stuff happening that wasn't happening, and it was like
walking around tweaking.
Yeah, he
literally for a whole season.
He was just sleepwalking the whole time.
Damon's a cool character. He's got a really cool dragon.
Okay.
And
they all got dragons?
Yeah.
This is when the dragon was still around, yeah?
Him and Rhaenyra basically just like have an argument, then he fucks off to Harrenhal, and he's just walking around and like touching this tree, and he's just like having I'm sure he was filming something else at the same time. He must have been.
Yeah.
He's just like high on bath salts the whole time.
And that season 1, I like season 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But season 2, all build up.
Yeah, it is.
So
all build up.
Yeah.
And then I thought I liked how different Night of the Seven Kingdoms was, because it wasn't the same sort of massive houses vying for the throne. It was just like a low stakes, all sort of localized. It's in one location. It's just about this guy, and he wants to compete in this tournament. He's got this bald little sidekick, and it's cool.
This little Grogu.
It's really humble.
Yeah, it's humble. Exactly. It's like it's simple. It's nice.
The episodes are nice and short.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be massively grandiose, but when it does like pull its finger out and want to be grandiose, that like, what was it, the penultimate episode or something, that was like really good. And it was that good that it sparked a whole thing where like it was the highest rated episode on IMDb. But then the Breaking Bad fans couldn't deal with that, so then
were attacking Ozymandias.
Yeah, it was like it was like review bombing each other until like, I don't know, a random other show became the the highest rated episode instead.
So did they review bomb each other into going lower than some random show that wasn't even involved?
Yeah, I'm sure it was like The Boys ended up like getting a really high rated episode or something.
That's funny. That's great. It's incited fandom wars though, so that's a good sign in today's landscape.
I liked it, and I'd like to see more from it, but I think they're going to do another time jump again with the next. Well, they're going to have to, because they've got a kid in one of the leading roles.
I think they're doing like 15 seasons. That's
what I've heard about.
That's too much.
Never going to happen.
They've heard they want to leave a 10-year gap and have the same actor, don't they?
Yeah, they're having the same actor.
It's not going to happen.
No.
His
life's going to move on.
You can't just keep people hanging on and then expect them to come back all these years. Like for all they know, the bloke could die in that 10 years, and then there's no resolution. It's silly.
I think it's a step in the right direction though, because House of the Dragon is like, in terms of like time frame and like the world of Game of Thrones, it's far enough away that it doesn't matter to what happens in Game of Thrones. But it's still the same concept. It's still the noble house. Like, I can't relate to this guy. He's called fucking Rhaegar. Yeah. I don't know anyone called Rhaegar, but like, what's the guy in Night of Seven Kingdoms called?
Dunk.
I know what Duncan. You know, like
and
like he's a normal guy.
That one actually does lead into Game of Thrones as well, because Aegon's brother is Maester.
Maester Aemon.
Yeah, Maester Aemon at the Wall. And so it's not a million miles away from the original show.
And it's like still linked in though, because instead of being in the annals of House Targaryen, it's Duncan who was mentioned once. Yeah. And that's a really cool spin-off.
Yeah, they've got like the scene where they're going through the Kingsguard book, and then he's got like all these different pages and that, and then you get to the show and you're like, oh, let's see how he got all these pages in the Kingsguard book. Yeah.
We want him to get this point, but we don't know how. It's left so vague, and that's what's good about it. That you can just write out anything you want to. Like, obviously the Targaryens do show up when they're around, but I don't think they're as well characterized as like say if like Daenerys showed up, you're like, oh my god, Daenerys.
His whole sort of life is already in one of the books, so people do know how everything ends, and like I've already had it spoiled, but I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Exactly, they've got the whole playground with them that they can do. They can just like faff about with and have their own show that's separate, no pressure to be the next Game of Thrones, you know,
Just
like House of the Dragon
low
felt like it should have
stakes,
been.
action, sort of fantasy comedy.
Exactly.
It's nice.
Exactly.
Different.
That's what it needs to be.
I mean, this is good timing because season 3 of House of the Dragon's coming out
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any predictions for that?
Is it this month?
Yeah.
Oh, that shows you how much I care.
It's not being advertised much.
Yeah.
though.
I feel like is this the last season or are they doing another one?
They're probably doing another one.
Whatever.
They shouldn't, but yeah. Yeah, so all this build up, I'm looking forward to it. If it's bad, then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'll be very
It
disappointed.
won't be the first time Game of Thrones has fell apart after all the build up.
I think with House of the Dragon, I think George R.R. Martin fell out with the showrunner.
That's
or
what
something.
I'd heard, that he's had no involvement with this third season or
Yeah.
something, and he's basically like cast it aside, so that's not a massive good sign.
That
So he
is
didn't
not a
like
good
what they
sign.
did with season 2.
Mm.
Oh.
So this
Well,
is going to be.
Well, he should write it himself then. How are you, George?
Well,
I
they
know,
should
it's not like
go
he's doing much
along
else.
with his like ideas, though. shouldn't
Yeah.
they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that's what he was doing to D&D. He was handing them notes saying, this happens, this is supposed to happen, do this, do that.
Yeah, because Game of Thrones is brilliant when they were following the books.
Yeah, when they had it laid out for them, yeah.
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 Uh-huh. He, like, George, right? I know it's like the George.
Do you know
it's
him
the person,
personally?
yeah. I do know George. Well, I don't want to go George R. Martin every time.
R. Martin.
Or like George R. Binks or something like that. I don't. I don't want to say that every time. Mr. Martin, right?
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin.
Getting formal.
He probably has written these books, like you say, but I just find it very funny that he does anything but. He wrote the whole background lore for Elden Ring before he wrote.
well, like I say, I do believe he's already wrote them, and they're going to release them after he dies, just so
Yeah.
there's doesn't have to deal with any of the fallout, because there's such an insurmountable amount of pressure on these books,
Mm-hmm.
even more so now after the show's finished, because
Yeah.
like before there already was, because it'd been so long, but now after the show's finished and people hated the ending, it's like, oh, what's he gonna? But I genuinely do believe that the ending of the show was along the lines of what he would have been planning, just in a
Mhm.
much more condensed way.
It was so rushed, yeah.
Yeah, because like, there's no way they could have deviated that much, because they still seemed buddy right up until the end. So he probably will have told them the sort of general idea of where the story was going to go.
Yeah.
They just half-assed it.
Well, they got the role, they got the job of being showrunners because they guessed one of the twists
Mm.
that was like miles away at the time.
Yeah,
But like you say, it's the structure of it is so different. That's why, like, towards the end, like okay, how do we do this in 2 episodes instead of how do we do this across an 8-season arc? Like
we'll not get back onto harping on
No,
the later seasons of Game of Thrones. You're in like, you've been in proper rant mode for like the past hour.
I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna let you go.
I think that's all the White Walkers and Wars for the Realm we've got time for today. Make sure to check out our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook pages for more CineClub podcast content and updates.
As always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, as well as being engineered by Matthew Elliott and edited by Emily Main. A special thanks goes out to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler, and Richard Berry. And a reminder that our 3 warring houses this week have consisted of me, Rhys,
Me, Billy.
And me, Emily. This has been a Cine Club production for Spark. Thanks for listening.